are the ones they call when there's no one left to call. So we need to cross that gap now. Not enough sleep, do it tired. Dirty, sleeping in the woods, so is the soldier next to you. We are in the fight. It is time to switch your mindset. Dirty, tired, enemy fire, it doesn't matter. Do your job.
Hello leaders and future leaders, this is Retired Sergeant First Class Beitz. Today, I'm going to break down the real pros and cons of serving in the Army, specifically from my perspective as someone who retired from the Army, who's deployed, holds 5 different MOSs, attended many schools, and has a lifetime of experience. I've lived this life, so you're gonna get the truth. No sugarcoating, no recruiting pitch, just the reality. I want to emphasize that I do not want to discourage anyone from joining the Army, as it always needs willing and able recruits. However, it's important to understand that the Army may not be the right fit for everyone. It's better to assess your suitability for military life before enlisting, rather than realizing it was a poor choice after the Army has invested significant time and resources in you. That said, I believe the benefits of joining the Army far outweigh the drawbacks. We'll start by discussing the pros, and then we'll move on to the cons. There are 17 pros and 9 cons that I cover, so I can't spend a bunch of time on each one. If you need more information on something I mentioned, just ask. The pros of serving in the Army. Number 1, early retirement. One of the most significant benefits, if you play it right, is that you can retire after just 20 years of service. That means if you join at 18, you can be fully retired with a pension at 38 years old. You'll still be young enough to start a whole new career, travel, or just relax while you're still in your prime. At a young age, you may not even be considering this, but at some point it will occur to you, if I stay in, I can actually retire in 14 years or X number of years. I personally retired at 38 years old. Number 2, top-notch training and experience. The Army provides you job training that's second to none. You're not just learning theory, you're doing the work, gaining real-world experience, and developing skills that transfer into civilian life. Whether it's leadership, logistics, mechanics, or combat operations, that knowledge sticks with you forever. Number 3, travel opportunities. You will travel. Now, it's not always going to be your dream vacation spot. The mission dictates the destination. Going to Scotland might be interesting. Going to Iraq is a different story. But you'll see parts of the world most people never will, and you'll have experiences that stick with you for life. Number 4, excellent health insurance. Honestly, this one's hard to beat. In my entire career, and even now in retirement, I've never had to pay for a medical bill. Not for surgeries, checkups, medications, or even the births of my kids. TRICARE covered it all. Number 5, housing and utilities covered. If you serve on active duty, your housing and utilities are covered. When you first enlist, your pay isn't very high, so having these expenses taken care of by the Army alleviates a significant financial burden. Number 6, tax-free shopping on base. Everything on post, gas, groceries, clothing, is tax-free. Over a career, that adds up to a massive amount of savings. Number 7, meaningful work. Serving in the military isn't just a job. You are part of something bigger than yourself. The work you do has purpose, and you can feel that. Number 8, educational benefits. Between the GI Bill, tuition assistance, and other programs, the Army sets you up for educational success both during and after your service. Number 9, bonuses. Depending on your MOS, there are enlistment and re-enlistment bonuses that can put a serious chunk of change in your pocket. Number 10, access to the DFAC. The dining facilities on base feed you 3 meals a day. The food is decent, and it's one less expense and worry to have when life gets busy. Number 11, built-in community. You'll meet people who share your values and your drive. These aren't just coworkers, they'll become lifelong friends. And unlike high school buddies or old neighbors, they often have the means to actually go out, travel, and enjoy life with you. Number 12, fitness facilities everywhere. Every Army base has gyms, and many have pools, saunas, racquetball courts, basketball courts, the works. Fitness is built into the lifestyle. Number 13, no car, no problem. Your company area, the chow hall, and most of what you need will be within walking distance. There are also cab services on base to get you where you need to go. Number 14, MWR perks. The morale, welfare, and recreation program is like the Army's built-in fun department. Movie theaters, fishing, golf, boating, wave runners, sailboats, even motorboats and pontoon rentals. Bases are basically self-contained cities with everything you can think of. Number 15, barracks life. If you're single, you'll live in the barracks. They're like small apartments where most of your platoon lives. That means you're surrounded by people to game with, watch movies with, or just hang out. Number 16, vehicle hobbyist heaven. If you're into working on cars, bases have auto hobby shops stocked with every tool imaginable. Many even have car washes and car clubs. Number 17, setting yourself up for life. At the end of the day, the military can give you training, benefits, and experience that set you up for long-term success. Moving on to the cons. Number 1, you can't just quit. When you join, you sign a contract. If you decide you hate it after a few months, too bad, you can't just walk away. If you go AWOL, you risk arrest, a dishonorable discharge, and a record that follows you for life. Number 2, no calling in sick. If you're sick, you don't just text your boss and stay in bed. You have to report to sick call, get checked by a doctor, and be officially put on quarters. If you're caught out and about, you're in trouble. Number 3, strict rules and structure. The Army has customs, courtesies, and regulations for everything, from how to wear your uniform to when to salute. If you've never lived in a disciplined environment, the adjustment can be a lot to handle, especially initially. Number 4, physical and appearance standards. You have to stay within a set height and weight range, pass at least 2 physical fitness tests per year, and keep your grooming and uniforms inspection ready. You can't just decide to become fat and lazy. Number 5, bad leaders exist. Most leaders are solid, but some are not. And in the Army, a bad leader can affect not just your workday, but your nights and weekends too. I ended my career under a really poor leader. If I had started my career with this person in charge, I would have left after my initial contract ended and never looked back. A bad leader can profoundly change your entire experience. Number 6, inspections and micromanagement. Random barracks inspections are normal. Daily checks for correct shaving, haircuts, uniform, and gear are part of life. Even small things like walking through the grass instead of the sidewalk can land you in a push-up position. Number 7, time away from family. Deployments, field exercises, and training will often keep you away from home, sometimes during birthdays, holidays, and major life events. In 2005, I spent Thanksgiving on a rooftop in Iraq watching for enemy activity rather than spending time eating turkey with my loved ones. In fact, I missed every holiday, birthday, and significant life event in 2005, so imagine what you miss over the course of 20 years. Number 8, frequent moves. PCS moves are a constant reality if you stay in beyond your first contract. Some people love the change of scenery, but others hate the instability. You build strong connections with people in each location, and when you receive a permanent change of station, you have to start forming those bonds all over again. This experience can either be enjoyable or challenging depending on your personality. I appreciated the individuals in every unit I was a part of, but none of them ever compared to my very first unit. Number 9, loss of freedom early on. When you're new, you have very little control over your schedule or life. Someone's always telling you where to be, when to be there, and what to wear. If you're in the wrong uniform or late even once, there will be consequences. Repeated occurrences will not be pleasant, I can promise you that. This situation can feel quite suffocating. So there you have it, the pros and cons of Army life from someone who's been there, done that, and got the t-shirt and the deployment patch. For me, the pros outweigh the cons by a mile, and the decision to serve shaped the rest of my life in the best way possible. But it's not for everyone. I could have elaborated a lot more on each of these points, so if you have questions about any of them, don't hesitate to ask. This is random, but something I think about often. Imagine working at a restaurant. You're a cook, serving food and cleaning up after everyone else. Or you could be airborne infantry, mastering weapons, learning survival skills, conducting airborne operations, spending your days training in the woods, and getting paid for it. Many times in my career, I remember thinking, I cannot believe I am getting paid to do this. Anyway, if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more military insights, and drop any questions you might have. If you've served, please leave your pros and cons down in the comments to help out other potential service members. This is Sergeant First Class Beitz. I'm out.
Me so much in the air. Me so much in the air. I'm scared. Use it with you. much in the air.